The auctioneer's chant was in full rhythm until it wasn't. Every voice died at once. In the ring walked a dust-brown mare, head hung low, her left front hoof barely touching the dirt.
Stop! She's hurt. Someone has to help her.
Esperanza, I came for you. Let me through.
From opposite sides of the ring, two hands stretched toward the mare, one clean and jeweled, the other scraped and clutching a single $1.
Your face, it's like looking in a mirror.
Their hands hung in midair, a breath apart. The entire barn waited.
Who are you? And why do you look like me?
The auctioneer's gavel stopped halfway down, his mouth still open on a number nobody would ever hear.
2 of them. After all these years, it can't be.
Mama, you said she'd be waiting for me.
Your face is my face. Your voice is my voice. Who are you?
The bidders lowered their paddles. A man in the front row crossed himself. No one understood, but everyone knew something sacred was breaking open.
Impossible. After all these years, she's standing in front of me. Isabella, come to me. Do not touch her.
You know her, Roberto. You know the child you abandoned.
He's terrified. My father, who owns entire factories, is shaking like a cornered animal.
I didn't come for a fight. I came for the horse my mother held when I was born.
I'll have quiet or I'll clear this barn. Nobody bids until order resumes.
But the moment that seized the auction had been building since dawn, when 2 girls in 2 different worlds slipped out of bed, each pulling toward a destiny that shared one mare. Dawn light pressed against the tall window of Isabella Vega's bedroom, but she was already awake, forehead against the glass, imagining a horse that wasn't there.
Every morning she traced the same empty paddock below her window. Today she would fill it. Father, the regional auction is today. You promised I could start riding again.
Riding is a distraction. Isabella, you have studies befitting your future.
You bought me a saddle last year and never let me use it. Please just let me see the horses.
Carlos Ruiz will be there. I need to close a deal. If you come, you stay near me and don't wander.
Stay near him. But once he's talking contracts, I'll find the ring. I brought my own money.
She slid the folded bills into the hidden pocket of her white sundress, then smoothed the embroidered hem as if it were armor. 90 minutes later, the Vega car pulled through the auction gates, dust swirling around the polished black doors.
Somewhere in those pens is a horse nobody wants yet. I'll find her.
40 miles from the Vega estate, in a village shack where the rooster crowed inside the room, Sofia Aguilar woke with the same deep brown eyes and the same thick braid, but a very different world outside. Nailed to the message post near the well, a flyer flapped, a grainy horse photograph above the word Esperanza.
Mama's horse. She wrote that name in her diary.
She ran inside and pulled a frayed leather notebook from beneath the straw mattress.
Esperanza. The Mari who carried me through the last ride before the babies came. If she lives, find her.
She crossed the village to Senora Alvarez's kitchen, where the old woman ground herbs with a stone that had outlived 4 generations.
Senora, an auction today. A Mari named Esperanza. Could it be her? That mare was bred in your mother's village. She carried Lucia in her final months. I know the brand. Then I go. Today, I have $1. All I have, but I'll offer it.
She took nothing but the dollar and the flyer, and set out barefoot along the dusty road toward the auction 7 hours away. The auction yard seethed with sweat and money, the air thick with dust kicked up by 100 boots. In the center of it all, Isabella stepped out of her father's shadow. Robert grasped Carlos Ruiz's shoulder and steered him toward the contract tables, already talking percentages. Isabella hung back, then turned and walked the other way.
Contracts for him, horses for me. He won't notice for hours.
At the back fence, Sophia squeezed through a gap where the wire had rusted loose, her bare feet landing softly inside the grounds. No guard looked her way. She moved not toward the loud auction ring, but with an instinct that pulled her toward the back pens, where the unwanted horses stood in shadow.
This one, she's been thrown away. But her eyes, she's still waiting.
Esperanza. Mama, if you are listening, help me find her.
Girl, I don't know who you are, but I am going to bid on you. I have my own money.
Lot 47. A brown mare. 10 years, no papers, sold as is. Who will start the bidding?
Robert didn't look up from his phone, his voice tight. But at the opposite edges of the crowd, two girls with the same face heard the mare's name and ran toward the ring. The auctioneer's gavel still hung frozen, but the real storm was only beginning to break.
This is absurd. Girls can look alike. I have no other daughter.
Then explain this. Roberto Vega.
The folded paper was yellow with age, but the seal of the village parish was unmistakable.
He's not running. He's not even yelling. He's just staring at that paper like it might bite him.
What is that? Does it say who I am? It says your mother was Lucia Aguilar, and your father is the man who stands before you, refusing to meet your eyes.
A forgery. You were always clever, old woman. But cleverness won't create a child out of dust.
I'll have the ring cleared if this doesn't stop. Final warning.
But nobody moved, because the paper in the old woman's hand had shifted the weight of the room.
The parish record is plain. Mother, Lucia Aguilar. Child, Sofia, born living. Father, Roberto Vega, absent but named.
She died. The baby died with her. They told me both were lost. I had nothing left.
You were told of twins, and you turned your back because twins were a curse in your family. So you let a village raise your own blood.
In the ring, the mare lifted her head, not because of the shouting, but because of a voice she had not heard since Lucia's last lullaby.
She remembers. That mare was bred in your mother's village, Roberto. She carried Lucia in her last ride. She was there when you came courting with promises you never kept.
Esperanza leaned into the girl's shoulder, a deep exhale stirring the torn yellow cotton. The crowd didn't breathe.
That horse knows her. And my father knows that horse. I am the only one who knew nothing.
The auction floor had become a courtroom, and Esperanza the only witness whose testimony neither money nor threat could shake.
Mama said you'd be waiting. She said, you never forget the ones you carried. All my life you told me I was your only child, but you've always known I had a sister, haven't you?
Isabella, that was a different time. I was protecting you from a past that could destroy us both.
Protecting me? You let her grow up in dirt while I slept on silk? You didn't protect anyone but yourself.
From the edge of the crowd, a man in a steel gray suit unfolded a portable table, Carlos Ruiz's notary, and set a legal pad upon it without a word.
I am using my trust fund to buy that mare, and I am giving half of it to my sister, right now, on this floor.
You can't. That trust is for your future. I won't allow it.
The trust is in my name, Father. You can't stop me. Not today.
The notary asked, "Are you certain, señorita?" And Isabella nodded. Pedro Mendoza's camera flashed, freezing the moment in white light.
I don't want your money. I only came for the horse. I don't even know you. You are my sister, and our mother's last wish was for you to find her. This is for her.
Isabella took the pen and signed with a single stroke, her name dark against the white legal pad.
I didn't ask for this. I only wanted the mare. I know, but you deserve more than a mare. You deserve your name next to mine.
Robert lunged forward, but Senora Alvarez stepped in front and Carlos Ruiz pinned his arm with a businessman's grip.
This is void. She's a minor. The notary is corrupting a child's inheritance.
The notary pressed the seal into hot wax and handed the stamped paper to Isabella without meeting Robert's glare.
Now, the mare.
The mare is lot 47. Sealed trust or not, bidding is separate. Do you wish to bid?
Yes, for Esperanza. From my sister and me.
Every paddle lowered. The mare turned and placed her injured hoof flat on the dirt, staring at the two girls as if she understood.
Lot 47. Bidding now reopened. Who'll start?
Before we proceed, I announce my withdrawal from all business with Roberto Vega. A man who discards his own blood cannot be trusted with my contracts.
You'll regret this, Carlos. $10,000 for the mare. Let's see a child's sentiment match that.
1 peso. And our word to heal her. That's worth more than any price you can name.
And my dollar, all I have. Together we bid.
A low murmur rippled through the bidders, not of mockery, but of a kind of awe. Old ranchers touched their hat brims.
I have 10,000 pesos. And I have 1 peso and a promise. The rules say the higher bid stands, unless the higher bid is withdrawn. Does anyone speak?
I will not bid against children who show more honor than the man I came to partner with. My paddle stays down.
This is manipulation, a spectacle. The auctioneer cannot accept a peso.
But the hammer didn't fall. The auctioneer's eyes moved between the furious father and the 2 girls who had already paid more than a peso ever measured. The notary lifted the sealed trust document high, its wax seal catching the light, and pronounced it legally binding under witness.
A miner's signature is a joke. I'll have this voided before the sun sets, I promise you.
The notary didn't blink, replying that the law cares about verified consent, not a father's belated concern.
The story just hit 10,000 views, Roberto. Your business partners will see it within minutes.
Carlos Ruiz's phone vibrated insistently in his pocket. He pulled it out and silenced the call, his jaw tight.
10,000 pesos remains the highest bid. If no further offers, the mayor goes to Senor Vega, going once.
Then a paddle rose from the back corner, where bidders in work-stained shirts gathered. The man didn't remove his slaughterhouse cap. He called a bid of 200 pesos. His voice flat and practical.
He buys for slaughter. We can't outbid him with a coin and a promise.
The auctioneer's gavel hung in the air, the cold rules of commerce suddenly arrayed against the weight of a mayor's memory.
Please, just let me speak. This mare carried my mother when she was pregnant with me. She's all I have left of her voice, her hands, everything. I walked 7 hours barefoot. I have $1, but I'll give everything I am to save her.
The auction barn fell into a silence deeper than any it had held before. Even the kill buyer's cap dipped a degree. Carlos Ruiz leaned across the rail toward the kill buyer and whispered 3 words. The man's paddle dropped an inch at a time. The kill buyer shrugged and tucked his paddle under his arm. He'd lose a few pesos, but even he wouldn't outbid a dead woman's daughter.
Bid of 200 is withdrawn. The floor reverts to 10,000 against 1 peso and a promise.
A scattering of applause started in the back and rolled forward, not triumphant but reverent, the kind that follows a confession.
Gracias. Mama, I am doing it.
Going twice, to the bid of 10,000 pesos, or the alternate bid of 1 peso. I must have final clarity.
Robert's face crumpled. No ally remained, only the cold shoulders of men who had once called him partner.
I withdraw the bid. Take your peso horse. But remember who gave it to you. Everything I did was to protect you. The world outside those gates is cruel.
You protected a lie. The cruelty I know is not meeting my own sister until today.
You'll regret this. When the money's gone, and that girl takes the last piece of your heart.
She's my sister. The only regret I carry is yours.
Robert walked out, leaving his cowboy hat on the chair, a crown cast aside in the dust.
The bid of 10,000 pesos is withdrawn. The floor stands at 1 peso and a promise, going once.
No paddle lifted. Even the traders in the back lowered their eyes, unwilling to break the quiet that followed.
We did it, Mama. 1 peso and a promise.
Going twice, sold to the senoritas for 1 peso.
The gavel struck wood with a crack that echoed through the rafters, and the auction barn erupted. Isabella and Sophia pulled the mare's muzzle between them, pressing their foreheads against her dusty coat. Then they turned and wrapped their arms around each other. 2 braids indistinguishable, 1 white sleeve and 1 yellow.
I hereby terminate all remaining agreements with Roberto Vega. A man who discards his own blood has no place in my business.
He tore the document in 2, the halves fluttering down to the sawdust like a final feather.
The world will know within the hour. Twin sisters, 1 peso, and a horse called Hope.
He typed furiously, the draft already burning its way across the wires. The crowd surged forward, not to claim a horse, but to witness the start of something none of them could name. Isabella and Sophia each took a lead rope and walked Esperanza out, the mare's limp barely noticeable against the thunder of applause. Outside the barn, the applause faded, and Senora Alvarez stepped forward with an envelope yellowed by 14 years of waiting.
This was your mother's last instruction. I was to give it to you when the mare found her way back.
Sophia turned the envelope over. Her mother's handwriting spelled her name in faded ink.
My daughters, if you read this, know I named you Isabella and Sophia. I pray you find each other. Esperanza carried me the day you were born. Follow her, and you will be together. She knew we'd meet. She wrote my name before I could even speak it.
Sophia pressed the letter to her heart, and Isabella's hand covered hers, holding it there.
Gracias, Mama. We found her.
They gathered the lead ropes, the mare walking easily between them, and stepped onto the road that led away from the auction. Behind them, the auction barn emptied, but ahead, nothing was decided except that they would go together. 3 days later, Robert Vega sat alone in his study as his last business call ended. Pedro's headline, "The Auction Liar," blazed from every newspaper in the state. He swept his decanter off the desk, shattering it against the wall. Isabella packed a bag in her childhood bedroom and walked out of her father's house without looking back. She arrived at a small cottage where Sophia had a straw bed waiting and the mare tied outside. Senora Alvarez applied a poultice to Esperanza's fetlock, humming the lullaby she'd sung to Lucia. The mare's lameness began to ease. The sisters walked her at dawn, her steps growing steadier. A letter arrived with no return address, containing pesos and a note. For the mare, from a mother who lost her sister. By week's end, donations topped 1,000 pesos, enough for rent, feed, and medicine.
We heal her, and then we heal more.
Weeks unwound. Esperanza's lameness dissolved under Senora Alvarez's poultices and the girl's patient dawn walks. When the veterinarian visited, he ran his hand down her leg and nodded. 4 sound hooves. The donations swelled to nearly 10,000 pesos. Combined with Isabella's trust, they purchased a rundown ranch.
Esperanza Sanctuary, because hope is what she carried the day our mother died.
On opening day, a local news van rolled into the driveway. Cameras aimed at the ribbon strung between 2 posts. Isabella snipped the ribbon with the same scissors Senora Alvarez had used to cut herbs. Esperanza stood at her shoulder, grain-fed, glossy, and testing no limp even on the hard-packed dirt. Across town, Robert Vega sat in a rented room with a television bought secondhand.
They built all that without me.
He turned off the television, but the image of the sign, a mare's silhouette above the word Esperanza, burned on the dark glass. 7 years later, Esperanza Sanctuary stretched across the valley, its pastures dotted with over 200 rescued horses. A documentary crew had arrived, setting lights in the main barn to capture the story of the twin sisters and the horse that started it all. In the quiet corner of the foaling stall, Esperanza, her muzzle now flecked with gray, nuzzled a newborn foal.
Every horse on this property began with her. The first peso we ever spent. We walked a limping horse out of an auction, and she led us home.
Senora Alvarez, now overseeing the herbal therapy program, rocked on the porch watching the crew with a quiet smile. In the sanctuary office, a shadow box hung on the wall. A worn $1 bill pinned beside a small brass plaque. Isabella still wore the 1 peso coin on a leather cord. The bracelet she had pulled off was now around Sophia's wrist. The documentary crew asked them to stand back to back, a horse on each side, the sanctuary logo, a mare's silhouette behind them.
Mama, look, we found each other.
After the last camera light dimmed, the director gathered the sisters in the office. He had footage they hadn't seen. On the monitor, a man in a threadbare coat sat on a shelter cot. Robert Vega, 7 years older and emptied of everything.
I threw away the only real wealth I ever had.
He spoke of his pride in what they'd built and his shame that they would never take his call. The sisters watched in silence. Isabella reached for the remote. She clicked the screen to black. No words passed between them. Sophia nodded once, and they both turned toward the barn door. Outside, the evening light lay golden across the sanctuary. They walked into the pasture where horses lifted their heads at their approach. Esperanza nickered from the far fence, and the sisters walked toward her, leaving the screen and its confession behind. The documentary crew filmed their final shot at dawn. Isabella and Sophia mounted 2 rescued horses. The sanctuary gate open before them. The sisters rode side by side, their identical braids swinging in rhythm, the morning sun casting long shadows across the pasture. In the office, the camera lingered on a shadow box where a crumpled dollar bill and a single peso coin lay pinned beneath faded newspaper headlines. Esperanza, the documentary narrator said, "It means hope, and hope, these sisters learned, is not bought with high bids. It's carried in the memory of a limping horse."
1 peso, 1 promise. Mama, we're still here.
And she's still with us.
They glanced toward the far fence, where Esperanza grazed, her old eyes half closed in the sun. The camera panned up to the sanctuary logo, a mare's silhouette, and held the word Esperanza glowing in the sun. The credits rolled over fields that held over 200 lives, and the wind carried only the sound of hooves. On the porch, 2 cups of coffee cooled between their hands. The pastures stretched before them, gold in the last light. Sophia's fingers found the silver bracelet on her wrist, tracing its clasp. Isabella's thumb rested on the peso coin hanging from her neck. Esperanza, grazing just beyond the fence, lifted her gray muzzle and nickered once. The sisters turned toward her together, then to each other.
1 peso.
And a promise.
No further words passed. The sun sank lower, and the shadows of the horses stretched long across the fields. The sanctuary settled into the quiet of evening. 100 horses already fed, the sound of hooves softening, and the 2 sisters remained there, together, as the day's last light caught the peso coin and the silver bracelet, twin gleams in the dusk. Night folded into dawn, and the sanctuary gates caught the first gold of sunrise. A wide pullback showed the pastures, the barn, the logo of a mare's silhouette above the word Esperanza. The sign stood where it had been planted 7 years before, weathered but steadfast. Inside the office, the framed dollar and peso still hung, mute witnesses to a promise kept. They found each other because of a horse the world had thrown away, and in saving her, they saved themselves. The headline in the frame, yellowed but legible, still read, "Twin sisters, 1 peso, and a horse called Hope." The sanctuary breathed in the morning quiet. The camera held on the sign as the light climbed, then slowly faded to black. Only the sound of hooves, slow, steady, carried on until silence.